As humans, we forget that we're a part of the animal kingdom. We are sophisticated. We have tools, we have technology, and we have Google. One thing that makes us act like the lion in the jungle, or the shark in the sea, or the hawk in the sky is hunger. Hunger brings out the animal instinct in us to survive. This is also called being hangry. That's when people like me come into play. I am a second generation chef. I started working at a small Japanese takeout cuisine restaurant 8 years ago. And I worked at after that, I worked at a all-you-can-eat restaurant in Redlands, which I hope I never do again. And after that, I moved to a fusion Japanese restaurant in Orange, California. And I'm currently working at Joey in downtown LA. One thing that I've had at all these restaurants that were the same is a white chef coat. Today, I would like to tell you how this coat was invented, who created it, and what it represents for chefs, and why it is important to me. The cultural artifact I have brought for you today is a white chef coat, and it was first designed by Marie Anton Crème in 1822. Marie Crème was abandoned by his parents at a very young age and entered into a bakery to become a dishwasher and worked his way up and became one of the first celebrity chefs. The design was a standard in all kitchens in France in 1879 and eventually the world. The coat itself, aside from looking nice, serves very specific purposes. The double-breasted coat allows you to switch back and forth in the case that you have a stain, so you can maintain a certain level of cleanliness visually. The color white deflects heat, is one of the elements that you're constantly exposed to in the kitchen. And the thickness protects you from splashes from hot liquids and oil. And most importantly, it makes you a part of the chef culture. My father was a sushi chef for 38 years. His journey began back in 1978 when he moved to New York and started his apprenticeship at a restaurant called Sakura. Shortly after his apprenticeship, he moved to Los Angeles in the early 80s and opened up his own restaurant called Akasaka, along with a cafe called Don Quixote's and a Korean cold noodle restaurant called Vermont Solongtang. In the year 2000, my father opened up his own sushi school called International Sushi Academy in Buena Park, California. I can still smell the grease as I scrubbed and polished the stainless steel. I can still see the endless rows of tiles as I counted them while mopping the floor. Little did I know, this would be the beginning of the journey into the chef culture for me. In 2008, a year after I graduated high school, our economy was a mess, to say the least. I dropped out of school and began working with my father at his restaurant in Mission Viejo. And that's when I received my first chef coat. Eventually, at the time, I didn't realize it, but it was the best time of my life. Even though I hated it, I missed out on a lot. Parties, family events, and eventually friends. My father taught me how to work in a kitchen, how to work fast and how to work clean, and to respect the hierarchy of the kitchen. Sadly, my father passed away March 30th of 2019, but he left me with a set of skills that I can take anywhere along with my knives and be okay. He taught me how to fish. He taught me that wherever I see a chef coat, I will have family. I take the metro occasionally back home and every now and then I'll see a chef, and we give each other a nod. This nod is out of exhaustion, recognition, and camaraderie. We don't know each other, but we're a part of the same culture. The culture where we put long hours in and similar scars that we accumulate from burns and cuts. And if one of us were out at work, we know that it's okay that we can come up to each other and to see if there's any open positions. I've told you how the chef code was invented, what it represents for the chef culture, and why it's important to me. It was created by a chef for chefs, and it protects us from the dangerous elements that we are exposed to in the kitchen. It represents equality, and it shows us visually that we are chefs, nothing more and nothing less. We are a family that feeds the public when they are hungry or angry. Next time you're out having lunch, dinner, or breakfast, remember that it wasn't just a chef that prepared your food. It was prepared by a culture.